counseling psychology. Na wakati huo nilikuwa naenda, mwalimu ambaye alikuwa anatufundisha alikuwa ananiuliza, na wewe haya maarifa unataka kutumia na nini? Sasa ikiwa unafundisha huko na hii counseling unatafanya na nini? Kamwambia wacha tu nisome, itanifaa pahali. Kwa hivyo maarifa hayaishi na kusoma hakuishi mpaka uwekwe kwa mchanga. Unaweza kuendeleza masomo, utajifunza mambo mapya. Sasa nilipoalikwa katika hiki kikao, mnataka tutumie lugha gani? Unajua naweza kutumia Kiswahili kutoka mwanzo hadi mwisho. Yote. Ni mix. Sawa. Nilipoalikwa katika hiki kikao, niliambiwa niongee juu ya mambo mawili. Jambo la kwanza ni mtu kujielewa, self awareness. Na hiyo hata kama ningemwambia Mrs. Gasha akuja afundishe hapa, anaweza kufundisha kwa sababu hiyo ndio topic ya kwanza. Unapoenda counseling, the first topic they teach you is to be aware who you are. Because many of us actually live without knowing who we are. And somebody told us, we came once at St. Philip's to bury the late Professor Ojiabo. We came with our vice chancellor then, was Professor Eshwani. Alituambia ya kwamba katika makaburi kuna talanta nyingi sana ambazo hazikutumiwa. Kwa sababu wenyewe hata hawakujua walikuwa na hizo talanta. Unajua sasa hizo ni talanta zimepotea kwa sababu hakuna mtu alifaidika kutokana na hizo talanta. Nimetoka kanisani St. James na tulikuwa tunafundishwa kuhusu mambo ya Esther. Na tukaambiwa Esther alikuwa amewekwa hapo na Mungu kwa wakati kama huo ili aweze kuokoa Wayahudi. Si ndio? So wherever you find yourself, whether it is in this church or in the workplace or in the home, wherever you find yourself, God has a purpose for placing you there. Yes, so it is important for you to ask yourself, what will I do where God has placed me? We were also told about Methuselah, who was 782 years. Apart from being told aliishi miaka hiyo, hajatajwa pahali pengine popote kwa hiyo Biblia yote. Kwa hivyo, he left without leaving a mark where he was. So the question we want to ask ourselves is, what mark are we leaving where we are? So today, because my topic is on self-awareness, I want to do two things. Self-awareness and mind and mindset transformation. Because those are the two basic issues I wish everybody knew. I told you why I went to learn counseling. I got 2 master students who came to my class. That time I was chairing the Department of Gender. I'm a gender scholar also. 2 women came to my office. And one of them, after I had finished my class, followed me. And she asked me, I want to share with you. So I asked her, what do you want to share? She told me, I'm married, I have children, and I cannot talk to my husband unless I use the house girl's phone. What? Did you hear that? What? A wife who cannot reach the husband unless he uses the house girl's phone. That was one girl. The second thing she told me, my husband has convinced my children that I am stupid. I know nothing, so I cannot teach them anything. And this is a secondary school teacher. Secondary school teacher who knows nothing. She can't teach her children because the husband has convinced them, your mother is stupid. That was one girl. She made me go back to school. The second one came and told me, Madam, I want to talk to you. I asked her, what do you want to talk to me about? She said, I'm married. I have 3 boys. My mother-in-law is beating me. Do you hear that? Mm-hmm. My mother-in-law is beating me. So I asked her, why is she beating you? She said, I don't know. Because I don't feel I deserve to be beaten. I've tried to tell my husband I want to leave this homestead and go and stay with him in Nairobi, but he has refused. He has told me, you must stay there with my mother. Then She wants to leave the home and go to her mother's place. The mother is telling her, you can come back, but don't bring me those 3 boys. They are not mine. Uache huko. Ni wa hu? Sasa huyu mama atafanya nini? Bwanake hataki aende kwake. The mother does not want her to go to her place. The mother-in-law is beating her. What does she do? And I asked myself, does she need to go to the husband? Does she need to go to the mother's place? When she's a secondary school teacher, I was teaching secondary school teachers. Must she go to those spaces? So I knew there was something seriously wrong about this class I'm teaching. This class I'm teaching, I realized there was something seriously wrong. Because basically, they don't understand themselves. Yeah? If she understood herself, I asked her, does your mother-in-law beat her daughters? She said, no, she only beats me. Physical. I'm not talking verbal. Physical. She's beaten by her mother-in-law. It's not because it's her mother-in-law, even your own mother. At some ages, we don't beat people. We talk to them. So, in counseling, the first topic you learn, because that is what made me go back to class. I said, I'm not going to class to practice counseling. I will counsel, but not on commercial basis. Where people need my help, I'll help them with that knowledge. So I went back to class for 2 years to do higher national diploma in psychological counseling. And it has helped me. In fact, I say it helped me more than I helped the others, because it made me also understand myself. So when we talk about self-awareness, we want to ask ourselves, if I told you to introduce yourself today, and I would want to start there. I had a colleague here who teaches with me, and he told me he was going to help me. That one is also my colleague. We work together at Kenyatta University. Yes, we work together. He's our technician. He helps us where we are disadvantaged in terms of technology. So we want to introduce ourselves, and okay, so you can look from there. We want to introduce ourselves. Go to the first page. First page. Okay. Yes, I wanted us to start there. I wanted us to look at our introductions. I won't tell everybody to introduce themselves because we don't have a name. Yeah? I mean, we can't even remember each other, especially for me. I may not remember everybody. So, but I want somebody to introduce themselves. And I want frontiers, somebody from there, somebody from here, and somebody from here. And they will represent the rest of us. Who wants to introduce themselves here, according to what I have said there? Yeah? Introduce yourself. Anybody? Anybody who wants to introduce? Yes, please. Mm-hmm. Amen. Okay. I shouldn't even have given the guide. I should have left you to guide yourselves. But let's get somebody else here. Somebody else. Here, yes? You can just say when you are seated. Yes.
Bwana asifiwe. Sijui kwa nini amepick on me. Okay. Name, si mnajua monyote? Oh, yeye hajui. Na Hashon Jehia Wagisharu.
For my sake.
Yes, for her sake. Anything else? Marita status. Hiyo niseme nini? Married to this girl?
Thank you.
uh, have several children. Kwetu hatusemi in the number. I'm also a grandfather. Occupation, the time, but I'm doing a business. Spiritual status, born again. Pia mimi hufundisha hapa, saa ingine naendaga pale kufundisha, na I still also preach.
Amen. Thank you very much. Okay, we need a third one there, on that line. On that line. Hawa hataki kujitambulisha. Mmoja tu asimame atuambie mambo yake, ama hayabatani na yale ambayo tumeandika. Okay, sawa, mpelekee tu.
Good afternoon. So my name is Ruth Nyambura. I'm married to one husband. I have several children. I'm a student nurse and I'm born again.
Amen. Tutaachia hapo kwa utambulisho. And the reason why So, when we identify ourselves, it's the first step of knowing who we are. Yeah? When we identify ourselves, we are able to know who we are. For example, I'll call myself Catherine. Catherine I was given as my Christian name. My middle name is Muihaki. That is the name my mother gave me when she gave birth to me. I'm named after her mother. So, for those who come from that community, they know I must be a second daughter, yeah? Because the first daughter must be her mother-in-law. So if I'm her mother, then I'm a second daughter. The others are professional titles, eh? Your professor Munaniita, I only became a professor the other day. Yeah? As I was given as a professional title. So basically, we need to understand ourselves. When my mother called me that, she was calling me that from a particular culture, isn't it? She's calling me from a particular culture. Do we have other people here not from Mount Kenya region? Nataka wale ambao si wa Kenya, Mount Kenya region. If you don't come from Mount Kenya region, madam, it's a gentleman. How are you named in your community? After the dead. You hear that? Okay, sit down. After the dead, you don't name a living person. In fact, we people, when we are carrying pregnancies, we don't even think about it. We only wait to see the sex of the child. And we will decide that is a boy, that's a girl, they will be named after this. So basically, when we talk about names, we want to know, where did we get these names from? Of course, we are being told some of those names have implications on our lives. Yeah? Those names have implications in our lives. For example, in our culture, if you can be called Monyua, Kenyua, Monyua, Kenyua, Moshohi, Wajohi. All those names direct you to alcoholism. All those names, whether you are Kenyua, Moshohi, Wajohi, Moreu. Now you have even added Moreu. I thank God for this, because I'm also getting data for my writing. I'm writing a book on these practices. So basically, we want to know what do our names mean to us. Yeah. So we want to ask ourselves, what is our marital status? We want to understand, I am a husband, I'm a wife. And as a husband and a wife, you also need to understand what your roles and responsibilities are. Marital status. Today, we have a big problem in the marital world. Yeah? You'll find people who are leaving each other children. Yesterday I was reading about a man who is 35 years old. He was left with a 1-month-old baby. And the baby girl, you led. And now that girl is 2 years. And that boy has raised the baby, a baby girl. The girl did not care. She was leaving that baby. That is your responsibility. It is your product. Take care of your baby. And she left. What did you expect that man to do? Marital status. You became a father. You became a husband. So you must know your space in society. The number of children, of course, we don't count them in our cultures. But that also brings a responsibility on your life. So as you are aware, whatever you are doing, you must remember you are a father. You must remember you are a mother. When we talk about our professions and occupations, some of them are taking us away completely from the families. Some of them are taking us to other practices and cultures, and that is important. You also want to understand how are they dealing with me? How are they impacting on my life? I have a son who is a chef. You may not remember that one. I can see you only remember. There is a firstborn. That firstborn of mine is a chef. And he works in a club where he sells food at night. And when he wanted to get a girl, the girl said, hey, me, I'm not being married by somebody who stays out at night all the night. That's your occupation. So what does that girl tell you? Me and you, we are not compatible. Are we together? Yet there are so many. I have heard about nurses. I have heard police officers, doctors, everybody. There, even us, sometimes we work late at night, isn't it? But this is somebody who has decided me, I cannot be married by somebody who works late at night. So your occupation now starts impacting on you. Are we together? So it is important for us to ask ourselves, how are we aware of who we are in terms of our identity? And remember, this identity we are talking about has been put on us, isn't it? I told you I was given my name by my mother. My Christian name I was given by our vicar, isn't it? My confirmation I was given by our bishop then. Yeah? You understand? So all these are identities you have acquired. Yeah? And they have become your identity. So how do they influence you? So that is most important for us to remember. We talking about the tools of self-assessment. Tutajijuaje? Tutajitabua vipi? Tutajitabua vipi? Tunapoongea juu ya being aware of yourself, what is it that you need to understand about yourself? If you are aware of yourself, how does it help you? I want to start with the body image. Yeah? Self-awareness. Can you start with your body image? Those who are doing counseling, they know that. We need to know about our body image. Body image, again, from the cultures we come from, they tell us the height is given to you by God, isn't it? I know I'm 5 feet 7 inches tall. Yeah? My sister is not 5'7", because that is the height God gave her. Yeah? There are others. So in terms of height, we know that is what God gave us. That's our body image. And then we also say, this one is your effort. This one depends on your effort. The Kenya Demographic Health Survey report has told us the women who are educated are overweight. The women who are educated are overweight. So as you study, they are telling you the more you study, the more you become overweight. And the more you become overweight, that becomes a health issue, isn't it? You are likely to get blood pressure, you are likely to get sugar, you are likely to so education and body weight are now being linked. I don't know why they linked them, but those are the findings anyway. It is a research which they have done for the last 10 years, so they know what they are talking about. The other one they told us is about those who are economically endowed. The women, they are talking about the women now. The women who are economically endowed are also overweight. Yeah? Of course, we associate that one with the availability of what you need to build yourself to that size we talked about. So when we talk about body image, people are going to determine whether you look good or you look bad If I am big, I'll be told you are obese. Yeah? The doctors will tell me you are obese on healthy grounds, so you need to make sure you are not in that size. We are also saying that when they talk about our body image, they'll make us either hate ourselves or not like ourselves. Eh? We talk about the issues of self-esteem. You start wondering, am I supposed to be like this? You have had people who are going to remove their backs, because they don't want that back. It is too big, or they want to increase it. Whether you want to increase it or reduce it, it is still a body image issue. Yeah? There are others who are going to increase their breasts. I remember one woman who was taken, she said, I don't want all this on my back. And she was taken by the husband. She wants to reduce. She was taken. Then the husband was told to come back at a particular time. But before he could even go back, he was called back. He was told, you have had an accident. Your wife has died during the procedure. During the? Who told her she was not beautiful because of this? Yeah? Me, the Bible tells me I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Yeah? So, ask yourself, who are you? Do you like yourself? Me, I like my height. Even if you tell me I'm big, it's okay. My mother used to tell me I was thin. I was actually a size, for a long time I was a size 10, size 12. I was okay. Now I'm big, I'm okay. Because I believe I don't have to change my body image unless it is a health issue where you are told now, don't eat or do this. But basically we want to talk about that body image and how it is impacting on us, especially women. Yeah? The men are not very particular. And unfortunately, that body size we are talking about, we want to attract the men. Eh? We want to attract the men. There was one woman who said every time they are driving, the husband is always looking out at the slim girls. Every time he's looking at the slim girls. That is natural. Looking out is natural, isn't it? It is not. Yes. If you have an open window and you are driving, you will definitely see all the things on the road. But now she has concluded he's looking at the slim. What does she do? Go to hospital to have the fat reduced. And then after it is reduced, the husband looks at her, she looks sickly. He asked her, what happened? Hey, I removed the fat because I saw you are interested in slim girls. The husband told her, that was not my interest. I wanted you the way you are. So now that you have become this size, me, I'm going to look for somebody who was the size you are. You understand? Because you're wasting your time, you must be aware of yourself. Why are you doing what you are doing, and why must you do it? Of course, that body image will lead to what we call the ideal self. Kila mtu anadhani ya kwamba kuna kiwango anataka kufika. Kuna kiwango unataka kufika. I want my ideal self is to be a size 8. Now you can see me becoming a size 8. I don't know what effort I will have to put to become a size 8 at my age and the nature of my job. You know, even those of us who sit down for many hours, we also grow big. Yeah? So basically we are saying, you start aspiring to be a particular direction. Of course, I'm not saying you don't aspire to be a particular size, but that size must be justified. Yeah? It must be achievable. She talked about the SWOT analysis. Is it a strength on your part, or is it a weakness? Is it a threat? Is it an opportunity? You know, there are people who are picked because of their big sizes, isn't it? Have you seen in the film industry? If they want a character who is big, they will not just pick a small person. They will go for the big person to portray that. If they want a short person, they will go for a short person. If they want a tall one, they'll bring a tall one, isn't it? But you see that one, which is natural given to us, is used to make us think about who we should be. That is important. Of course, the social self, that is what we are discussing. The society has parameters of deciding who is ideal, who is good, who is not good. In some cultures, if a guy is going to get married, they are put somewhere and they are fed so that they can be big. And then they are being told that when you go there now, you are shown the very big women, and you are told, if you join our society, this is the kind of size you will be. You understand? We have enough food for you to eat to be. That is their ideal self, social self. So basically what we are saying is we need to ask ourselves, how do we gain that identity that can identify us, not other people identifying us? If you are satisfied the way you are, you don't have to go to hospital to change your size. Because that size is yours, it has no medical issue, why are you reducing it? But because we have been told we are not beautiful in that manner, then we start saying, no, I have to change myself. So we have that self-concept. We have that body image, the ideal self. And then the esteem, self-esteem. They are people, because of identities given to them by societies, they have very low self-esteem. Low self-esteem is when you just take yourself as rubbish. Yeah? When you are in the place of people, you don't talk because you don't want to say the wrong things. I don't know language. I don't know how to be courageous. I don't know how to be confident. I don't know how this. You remember even Moses. Moses told God, I cannot talk to those people. Me, I'm not an orator. I have no oratory skills. What did God say? God said, I created you and I created your brother Aaron. Aaron was an orator. Moses, according to him, was not an orator. So Moses already had low self-esteem. Yeah? He believed he could not talk in public. We are told after death, speaking in public is the most feared thing. Yeah? Most feared thing. Many people don't want to talk in public. For those of us who are teachers, we talk to people every day. So we don't mind speaking in public. But there are people who don't want to speak in public. And even if you're a teacher, there was a member of parliament, a professor from one of the universities, who was in parliament for 5 years. She never opened her mouth unless she was yawning. Yeah? Why I actually confronted her, I knew her. I confronted her and asked her, Madam, why didn't you talk? She said, I was still learning the studying orders. A professor learning studying orders for 5 years? That is a person with low self-esteem. It doesn't matter whether that you are a professor. You have low self-esteem, which is very bad. Because that possession, as far as I was concerned, it was wasted. There should have been somebody who could articulate the issues for women, the issues of her area, the issues of this country, but she opted not to talk because she was still studying the studying. Really? Even, anyway, I don't want to say even they are all fearful and wonderful weed. But that is low self-esteem. Those who don't trust themselves in anything, they cannot make decisions because they don't trust themselves. They cannot, do anything because they don't have the confidence to do whatever is supposed to be done. The other one, that is very bad. Yeah, I've said it's dangerous. The other one is the high self-esteem. Yeah? And even the high self-esteem is when you think you are everything. Yeah? You think God could just have created you alone and you'd have served all the people in the world because you have what it takes to do everything in the world. That is also dangerous. Very, I like that. It is very dangerous because you never recognize talents in other people. You always think about yourself. Every decision has to be made by yourself. Every action must be undertaken by yourself. Anything must be done by you because you are everything. That is also dangerous. So, in self-awareness, you also want to ask yourself, are you up there or are you down there? We call it the grass ceiling or the mud. You can be stuck in the mud, in the low self-esteem, but you can also reach there where you have nowhere else to go because you are everything. Yeah? So, what are we saying? You balance. Yeah? Realize that God has put something in you, but also realize God also put something else in other people. And God can use other people. Moses and Aaron were supposed to work together. Moses with no oratory skills and Aaron with oratory skills. So God puts a mix of us in whatever situations we ourselves so that we can do what God purposes us to do. So that is the body image and the self-image and all that. I have talked about those, so I will not repeat. But you can also assess yourself using the 360 degrees. The 360 degrees in mathematics, we know, is the whole circle, isn't it? But in that circle, there are people, for them to know themselves, need to be assessed by other people. This is a tool which is used in workplaces. When they are employing people, they want to know as much as possible about you. They want to know whether you are the person they are looking for. But now in this 360 degrees, you are talking about people talking about you at the top. If we ask somebody to describe you at the top, those who are your seniors, if we came to the fika and asked her, how is Mrs. Gesha as far as she's concerned? This is her senior as far as this environment is concerned. So you can talk to your seniors at the workplace. You can talk to your seniors in the business. Those who are more endowed than you, what path have they passed? And if they assess you, can they see a future in you as far as business is concerned? Those who are below you, the workers, can also give you an assessment. Even our house helps. They can give us an assessment. Madam, they can tell you, madam, what you have done is not right. Can you do something else? What is she telling you? She has assessed you, and she has decided that you are not good in that area. But that is important. What she has said is important. It could actually bring a transformation in your life. Even your children, the parents. You know, we are also parents, and we believe because we are parents, we know everything. Yeah? Even children, God has given them knowledge, isn't it? See, David was a child when he was picked to be a king. Even the father himself was not aware that David could become a king. He's a boy grazing animals. But God has seen potential in David. So even our children, sometimes we can listen to them. And that is why we are being told to respect information, whatever sources it's coming from. Now these people, we are being told by a World Economic Forum that all the children in primary schools today will not, their work is not in the world today. 60% wale watoto tunafundisha kazi zao hazijabainishwa sasa, haziko katika ulimwengu. Haziko katika ulimwengu. So they are going to come up with new knowledge. New jobs are going to emerge, which can only be done by those who are now in primary schools. So even as you start telling them, I want you to become a scientist. Maybe she will never be a scientist. He will never be an engineer. He will never be a doctor. See, we have artificial intelligence now. They have already Harvard University has already employed one. Artificial intelligence. I don't know whether they will be paid and what they will do with the money. But basically, those artificial intelligence gadgets are going to replace most of us. Universities, you can teach, one person can teach the whole world because you only need a Zoom. And you can talk to the whole world, wherever they are. So the jobs are going to be lost. Many of us are going to lose our jobs because of technology. So we want to understand how are we being rated at the top, in the middle, and at the bottom. And listen to each category of people who are telling you who you are. It is important. Whether it is your wife, like the wives I have described, whether it is the children, it is also important to listen to what they are saying. I met one wife who told us the husband modified the house, and then he told the friend to come and assess the house, and the friend said, why have you wasted so much money modifying this house? The money you have used, you could have bought a plot and built a house of your design. That one man was so frustrated with that statement, he decided to sell the house and go and rent another one as he planned to build another house. Now you see, so not every advice is also fireable. Of course, the wife was not told. She was just venting and telling people, do you know he didn't even ask me about this? Because the husband believes he's the man, he's the only one with the knowledge, he's the only one who can decide which direction people will go. So basically, what we are saying is, we want to ask ourselves, can we use this approach to understand what people feel or think about us. What do they feel at the top? What do they feel in the middle? What do they feel at the bottom? But I'm saying, again, whatever they say, you must interrogate it. Yeah? Not everything you are told is correct. But not everything you are being told is trash. Yeah? Biblia inatuambia, we have not been given the spirit of fear and timidity, but of sound mind. Sound mind. So I'm saying we can assess ourselves using these parameters, but we must ask ourselves, is it sound? Whatever we are being told, is it sound? You remember the brothers of Joseph? They all sat and decided they were going to kill him. But one of them, was it Reuben? I think it was Reuben. Reuben told them, let's not do this. Let us sell him off. Eh? So he changed the plan. So, are you going to be the voice of reason among those people you are with? Are you aware that whatever decisions are being made are not adequate? And if they are not adequate, what option are you taking? Remember, Kenyans, we are critics. Very good critics. Every day, go to any place. All the time now we have become more political analysts. We have all become political analysts. Every evening, every home, every meeting, everywhere, people are just analyzing the government. But they are not offering solutions. They are not. They are not offering solutions. And we say, if you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. Yeah, so if you have a problem and you can't offer a solution, please hold your breath. Yes. Yeah, unless you are going to offer solutions. So we can think about that as a tool of self-assessment. We can also assess ourselves using the Johari window. Johari window is a tool which was created by two people. Those two people came up with a window. I haven't done that window, but they came up with a window. That window has 4 panes. Eh? One pane is called unknown. Haijulikani. The other one is called known. Inajulikana. The other one is called hidden. Imefichwa. Na the other one is called blind. I'll start with the known. Kuna mambo yako ambayo yanajulikana na kila mtu. Kuna mambo ya mtu ambayo yanajulikana na kila mtu. Kwa mfano, rangi yako. Sisi wote tuna rangi. Tunaweza kusema rangi ya huyu ni mweusi, huyu ni mweupe, huyu ni kahawa. Turugi. But we have a color which everybody knows, isn't it? We have a height which everybody knows. When they are describing, yule mfupi.